Nope.
He Gathers the Children by Timothy Smith. Recently, I've had some repressed memories that made their way back to the surface of my psyche. I want to tell my wife or my family, but I don't want them to look at me differently. And to be honest, I don't think they would even believe me. That's why I'm telling you. I don't care if you believe me or not. I just need someone to know. It was almost 25 years ago. I was a child, too young to have known any better or to have done anything to stop it. The clock said 3 a.m. It was 6 hours past my bedtime, but no matter how tight I shut my eyes, I kept hearing his voice. It started off as whispers, but soon they were shouting at me, demanding me to obey.
Go outside.
That's all he said. I told the voice no, but eventually the screaming was unbearable. I wanted to cry out, but I knew if I woke my parents, they would be angry. My dad changed when he got angry, especially when it was late. Soon I decided that I needed the screaming to stop. I went outside. Standing before me as I opened the door was a man. It was dark, so I couldn't make out too much of him. He wore a dark coat and his eyes were wide and excited. He was sporting the biggest smile I had ever seen. He said nothing as our eyes met, just looked down at me in a crazed manner. Standing behind him were the other kids in my neighborhood. Not one of them looked scared, so I figured I had no reason to be. The man pointed to the group and I got behind them. We all traveled to the next house and waited. Then the next house. Then the next. All the while, the man kept gathering the children. Soon the group was complete. The tall man calmly led us into the woods. Then we waited. From where we stood, we could see the lights of our neighborhood homes turn on as the sun rose. The time spent with the smiling man was spent in silence. Not one of us made a single sound. We just stood there, calm, waiting. After what felt like a couple of hours, we heard footsteps in the rustling of foliage. A mother and father of one of the children walked up to the smiling man nervously. They both looked extremely scared. The father's hand shook violently as he motioned towards the smiling man to hand him something. Money. The parents gave him money. This continued with more and more parents. They all came to retrieve their children until eventually it was just me and another kid. That's when the two of us began to get scared. Plenty of time had passed, but the man still hadn't looked at us. Then from my house, I heard a door slam, and I saw my father sprinting towards us. He was there in no time. He doubled over, wheezing, catching his breath. I watched as he too paid the man. Immediately, my father took my hand and we left. The other kid was there, alone. I turned back to look at him. The wild smile on the man's face began to dissipate into a grimace. I watched as he walked towards the last boy. He grabbed him powerfully by the arm and pulled him deeper into the forest. This caused the boy to scream out in pain and terror. I turned around and never looked back. That boy was never seen again. The neighborhood never talked about it, but I knew. I had seen it with my own eyes. The smiling man had taken him. The reason these memories came flooding back is because I'm hearing him again. I've been hearing the same faded whispers that called out to me when I was a boy. I've been jumping out of bed and running to my son's room to make sure he's still there. I'll be the first parent in the woods when he isn't. If you too are a parent, please just be prepared. You shouldn't make your child wait.